Y'all, this year has been the most trying and testing year for so many people. It has been a year for the history books, and I just hope all of y'all have been okay. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever helps you get through your day, I hope you have been all right, and I hope you have been safe. Now, with that being said, I've been MIA because I've been dealing with my own stuff, but every day is a work in progress, y'all. Remember that. Each day you are one step closer than you were before. But right now, I want to give the biggest virtual hug specifically to the two artists that are going to be featured on this episode of Don't Sleep on These Artists, and for the other ones that will be on the upcoming episodes. They've been so patient, kind, sweet, understanding, and I just have so much love for them, so shout out to y'all. With that being said, welcome back to another episode of Beats and Bandanas podcast, where we talk about everything music. And I love this series because you guys are introduced to dope artists from around the globe. We sit down, analyze, listen to their music in depth, and I really get to brag about them because, y'all, you get to see the extent of their creativity, and we pay homage to them and their craft. Be sure to look in the description though to get all of their information, and these artists will also be featured on the Pretty Unplugged music blog. That link will be in the description too, so be sure to go check that out as well because that's very dope too. So our first artist goes by Damez. Let me tell you, he is a jack of all trades, and I love when I run into artists like this because it's always so impressive how much they do and just the work that they put out as a result of their insane work ethic. So Damez is a rapper, singer, dancer, songwriter, and a rising voice in the hip hop and Black LGBT community. My boy was born in Jackson, Mississippi, where he says he discovered his love for music at an early age and began writing songs. But at the age of 6, he relocated to Atlanta with family, where he had to deal with the divorce of his parents and the devastating loss of his brother. Courtesy of Damez, you can go on Google and look up Justice for Ryan Henderson to see the movement created in honor of his brother's life. I also have a link in the description below for you guys to be able to go straight to that search. And Damez, on behalf of the podcast and its listeners, we offer you our condolences, support, and love. So once again, y'all, please check out the link in the description for more information. Now, Damez independently recorded music and performed live shows in college, which is a huge accomplishment because, y'all, college has you tired, stressed, and only leaving you enough energy to warm up some ramen before you gotta study for an exam. But Damez' determination just put him on a whole different level. And with this determination came the release of projects and singles globally. His debut EP was released on SoundCloud in 2014, and he was most recently featured on Billboard.com as part of their Billboard Pride playlist for his singles Pull Up and Big Mood. So now that you have more of a background on Damez, let me share with y'all how I feel about him and his music. He is the definition of pure confidence, and he sets himself apart from the rest because of his work ethic. He speaks on hyping yourself up, whether it be about how you stunting on people, speaking on your accomplishments, etc. But he does it in a way that's very catchy. If you check out his earlier work, which I encourage you do, you'll notice a certain progression he's made with particular aspects of his music. And I feel in my soul that this isn't going to be the first time I mention his progression as an artist. So if y'all hear me repeat myself, bear with me, okay? Back in 2014 with songs like On the East, he opened up with the audience and got very personal about his life, things that happened with his family, his own progress, and how music proved to be the turning point for a lot of pent-up feelings. For me, I feel that his albums really defined himself as an artist and what he's all about. And it forces you to confront things that many people might avoid. One lyric I love from his album, The Art of Extravagance, was when he said, "Shit gets real when the drugs can't help you." Even though that came out in 2017, it's still very relevant today for anyone, but especially hits home for those in music. From his older to most recent projects, Damez shows why he's an artist to keep an eye out for. And in a recent interview, he speaks on the growth he's made as an artist, as well as speaking on the importance of representation in hip-hop.
You know, hip-hop is such an art form, and it's such a unique art form that, you know, has so many different elements to it, so many different subgenres to it. It's not just one thing. And I feel like this room for all of us, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's important that, you know, we're represented in the right way.
In a separate interview with Southside Radio, he elaborates on how being black and LGBT in a world full of judgment has not always been easy.
It motivates me to work harder. You know, I try not to make an excuse out of it or try to throw myself a pity party. You know, I am who I am.
Please check out the description to not only see these interviews in its entirety, but also some other favorite videos of his I came across. Damez has a new album out called D-Money, which released February 16th of this year. The project just continues to show his growth as an artist. I told y'all I was going to say it. I was going to repeat myself. But the album gives you a peek into his accomplishments, personal moments from his past, the grind, and remaining true to himself throughout his come up. The production kept me vibing out with each song. I love the clever uses of his wordplay. His delivery and flow makes you want to make that, you know, that ugly face you make when you start dancing and getting hyped, that face. You know exactly what I'm talking about, so stop playing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But what I also loved is how he didn't shy away from the more melodic components with tracks like Floss and Juice, which is one of my favorites because the instrumental was really smooth. I also noticed a deeper moment of vulnerability where he mentioned his internal battles, which so many of us go through on a daily basis, so as a listener, I really appreciated him opening up. I also have this habit of hearing somebody's music and thinking, oh snap, if such and such was on this track too, I would be in heaven right now. And the same thing happened when I listened to D-Money. There were certain tracks where I envisioned Megan Thee Stallion and even 21 Savage rapping right alongside Damez, just based off of his flow and delivery. Another track by Damez called The Old Me is really great because it tells the audience not to assume you know who he is, but shows you that he's returning to, quote, old ways, so to speak, like making his money and doing what he wants to do regardless. Ciao. I've been talking for what feels like 40 days and 40 nights, so I'm gonna go take a breather. But if you're ready to get turned for the one time, go ahead and turn your volume up for this track called Big Mood, which is just one of the many dope tracks from Damez's album, D-Money.
Yeah. Make this beat. Walking this hoe and I feel like for real. It might be the fit. They know I'm on fire, I'm giving them hell. I burn through a zip, they know I be lit. I'm in the discussion, I watch them talk shit, then I watch them do nothing. You putting in keys, I'm pushing on buttons. I fuck them in dip, I don't do the cuffing. Stuff a couple racks in the duffel. First when I swing, the scuffle. Stunt so hard, need a double. Picture me rolling up a jetpack. Ain't with the cab, you can find me with a check at. I got you triggered, I never been friendly. Me and my niggas, we get to the Benjis. That nigga don't like me, I think I know why. Cause I'm a whole meal and he just a fry. Handful of bags when I'm leaving the mall. No pick and choosing, I'm copping them all. Live with the bars and I'm making them crawl. Knocking them down and I'm watching them fall. Fuck on your hoe, then I hop in my whip. They like my style, but they loving my drip. Always the flyest, this should be expected. I pop out on niggas like I was ejected. Big move, I'm a big move. Yeah. And I'm gon' do what I want to. Yeah. Big move, I'm a big move. Yeah. I'm a big move. I'm a big move. Yeah. Bust down, bust down, bust down. Bust down. Need that when I touch down. Need that flooded AP. You ain't holding, you get shut down. Real. Bust down, bust down, bust down, bust down. Need that when I touch down. Need that flooded AP. You ain't holding, you get shut down. Pull up with my top off, take your top off. If you pop off, I'm too real and you a knock off. Get my nut, then I say hop off. That's enough. Put up to the flame, finna throw bands. Niggas throw shade, but they won't throw hands. Son of these niggas like I was they pop. Decked out in Gucci, I'm feeling like WAP. Give me some space when I'm doing my dance. Walked in with bands, stuff in my pants. Niggas ain't real, so they can't get a chance. Feeling this drink, so I'm losing my stance. Niggas is lazy, they copy and pasting. Tryna be me, but it's time to be wasting. And I be all in they mouth, but that shit was my house, man. And wetting my dick, they be tasting. Big move, I'm a big move. And I'm gon' do what I want to. Big move, I'm a big move. I'm a big move. I'm a big move. Big move, I'm a big move. And I'm gon' do what I want to. Big move, I'm a big move. I'm a big move. I'm a big move. Bust down, bust down, bust down, bust down. Need that when I touch down. Need that flooded AP. You ain't holding, you get shut down. Bust down, bust down, bust down, bust down. Need that when I touch down. Need that spree at Neiman's. You ain't holding, you get shut down.
Next up, we have Zay Blaze. So Zay Blaze is a singer, rapper, producer, and engineer from Atlanta. Atlanta's getting so much love. I love it. He recently finished school at Hampton University with a major in audio production. The really dope part with Zay is that he's recorded his projects in his own studio. That's just so cool to me, y'all, because I look around my room and I'm like, how do you even get that crisp HD quality sound on these albums, on these singles that I be hearing when I listen to their music? It's so impressive to me. His newest album, called Do You Care, features really dope artists such as Prime, Mothero, Kai Cash, Heather, Maya Lene, and Mo Woods. But before I delve into my analysis and what I've come to learn and love about Zay as an artist, I want you guys to be able to get to know him a little bit too. So check out this clip when Zay sat down with SVN Studios and Randall C. Williams to shed light on his music and more.
I always start off my performances with a slower song just to like get you engaged, like, oh, he can sing, and then I switch it up with something that's hype, something that's upbeat, so it's like, oh, what's going on now? He's jumping around, he's acting a fool, he's yelling and stuff like that. So it's all just for the pageantry of it. It's just so I keep your attention. My inspiration comes from like Joey Badass, Drake, Party Next Door, Frank Ocean, Travis Scott. So those are, oh, and Smino. Those are the main people that kind of are my biggest influences in music. So like whether it's like with my flows or whether it's with my production style and my engineering style, there's always like an aspect of like those people in my music.
So to check out the full interview, just check out the link in the description. And if you're watching the video portion, just look up top and I got the link for you up there. So the first thing I can say about Zay is that you feel his songs, okay? From different aspects with the production and especially the relatability with the lyrics. You know how at a spoken words poetry session, you just want to be like, preach, when they recite that one line that just hits? Well, that's what it's like listening to Zay's music, but it's not just one line, it's the whole album. Even with the topic variation, everything he said would speak to me, whether it was him talking about making moves and continuing to rise regardless of what's going on, to spilling out his emotions pertaining to certain things like relationships, or even addressing the foul things happening in the world around us. Also on one of his projects called WID, or What You Doing, you get a lot of this too. But one thing you should do when you listen to this album is take a closer look at the track list and the format of it. He did something really cool with that. Now in 2019 came the release of his next album called Flame. And I think one important thing to take note of with Zay is that as an artist, he does not keep the audience waiting for long when it comes to new releases. If you take a look at his entire discography, there is consistency, and that's something I really appreciate about him as an artist. One thing to keep an eye on with Flame is notice his progression in his music as he makes more use with beat switch ups, like on tracks called Look and My Zone. But lyrically, he's still impactful and relatable, which is dope to hear, and the features killed it too. But going back to his newest project, Do You Care, you're instantly immersed into the project from the opening track Awake with dope uses of distortion. You're really pulled into the production. What I also noticed in this album in regards to the topics surrounding relationships, this man had a switch. And what I mean by this is when he was speaking on how he was only here for the casual, he was a savage in the lyrics. Not even in a mean way, but with the delivery and the lyrics, I'm like, okay, my boy, I hear you loud and clear. Ain't no way I can get confused about what you and I are doing. It is clear we just hanging out for fun, and this is just like a little benefits thing. I understand I'm not your girlfriend after this. Then there were songs where he wanted to be with you and say, I'm gonna help you with your problems. I'm gonna help you through your problems. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so compassionate and the emotion is just pouring through the song. It was really dope to see those different sides of him, so to speak. And the transitions off of here were insane, y'all. For example, and I don't want to spoil it, so I won't, but just pay attention to the extreme sonic details within the outro of the songs going into the intro of another. It was such a well executed story. So with that being said, for the first listen, do not play this album on shuffle. I'm not playing with y'all because I know some of y'all just get real happy. Oh, let me play this on shuffle. I want to experience it in different ways. Play this from beginning to end in chronological order and thank me later. This entire album is just a vibe and takes you through different waves. It kind of feels like a grown folks type of album. You know, when you can listen to certain songs that are more of a sensual type of banger. Once again, features on here did their thing too. The same features I mentioned in the beginning, but I'm gonna tell y'all again so y'all can look them up because they make music too. So Heather, Prime, Maya Lene, Mothero, Kai Cash, and Mo Woods. And I would love nothing more than for Black, Aaron Ray, and or Lucky Day to collaborate with this man. Cause does it even have to be said? I would just be drowning in my own tears while dancing at the same time. Looking like a hot mess, basically, but a hot mess in the best way. You feel me? So you know what time it is. Time to play some music, but we're gonna switch it up just a little bit. So the full song of his that you're going to hear in just a second is actually from his album called Flame. But I really want you guys to hear a snippet of a song from his newest album, Do You Care? So here is a song called Screens featuring Mothero.
I got $2 in the condom in these jeans. It's been a cool month and I'm kinda feeling green. I don't give two fucks if I gotta hug the scene. What you mean I done seen? Are you fiend for the screen? I got $2 in the condom in these jeans. It's been a cool month and I'm kinda feeling green. I don't give two fucks if I gotta hug the scene. What you mean I done seen? How you fiend for the screens? We give love a bad name. Hey, I kinda like that. Hey, let's run that back. I'm gonna try that one more time. Yeah. We give love a bad name. But da-da-da-da. Alright, I'll figure that out next time around. Let's get to the verse.
I already know what you thinking. Kenya, that wasn't enough. We want more. I mean, you know I got you. So here's a full song from Zay Blaze called Ain't For Me from his album Flame.
Wish I could just hold you tight and never let go. Just melt into my arms tonight as I love you so slow. Let me keep you warm. You know it's getting cold out. The night will be ours, the moon and the stars, and I feel so light with you nearby. Won't you be mine? This shit ain't for me. I guess it's plain to see that I just need to breathe. Don't wanna set you free. I don't know how to love, so we just making love. Don't wanna be too much and end up ain't enough. Baby, come closer and let me take you to your peak on your chauffeur. Just let me unwrap my gift. But baby, don't move too quick, cause we got nothing here but time. To another world we drift, and it feel like no one else exists. Just stick with me, we'll be just fine. Just let me keep you warm, warm up in my
we've reached the end of what I will call a nice return to the Beats and Bandanas podcast, Don't Sleep on These Artists series. I want to give a huge shout out to my boo thangs, Tiffany and Kaija, for introducing me to these amazing artists. Damez and Zay, y'all are so sweet and amazing. You were just so understanding throughout this entire process, so I really appreciate you. And just know, I wasn't gonna leave y'all hanging, even though we last talked like 5,000 years ago about this video, but I appreciate y'all so much, more than you know. Thanks again for joining me on another episode of Don't Sleep on These Artists. If you are someone that you know makes music and might be interested on being featured on a future episode of this series, just send me an email with your name and where I can hear your music to beatsandbands@gmail.com. That's beatsnbands@gmail.com. Or hit me up on Instagram at kenya.parks or on Twitter at kenya_parks.